Is this a little better? Is this a little better?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Down on the masters a bit. You're fine. Okay. We'll begin with these first set of costumes. I'll tell you when this is changing. These first set of costumes are not for competition. These are simply for display. These are people who have entered before. Some have won, some have not. But these are entries from before, and these are not for the competition. So we begin with Kelly the Otter.
Where's Kelly?
Invisible Otter.
Look, it's cameras. Talking to wild otter. Wild otter.
Is there any other
Kelly the Otter, designed and constructed by Jerry Case and Ed Klein. Next we have Noir.
Oh,
Yeah, on the center of the carpet there. No. See the X in the middle. This way. There, please. Thank you.
No, we are not going to have a lineup. It will simply feel like it at times.
Oh, damn. I wish you wouldn't do that. I have a really slow shutter speed. Ready?
You know, Doc can take care of that.
Hail the light people. Have at it.
Howdy.
Okay.
Noir, designed and worn by Kyle Littlejohn, constructed by Ed Klein.
Kishma. Kishma.
All right, next we have the casual Red Shetland.
Well, there you go. Can you step back to the center of the carpet? No.
Right there.
Right there. Yes. And hold still, please.
Yes, stand in the crosshairs. Let's not start already.
I don't have much control over that. The other guy's working with the set.
Costume designed and worn by Kishma Danielle and built by Ed Klein. By Kishma. Oh, my apologies. Built by Kishma herself, with, of course, the original design by Jim Grove. And finally, we have the man himself. Please welcome Eon. Anywhere you wish to. Right there.
Right there. Back up.
Okay.
This way.
This way. Okay. Right there. Hold, please.
What is like standing on toes? How's that? Don't get it. We're done anyway. Sit down.
Yes, old hoofers never die.
Oh, schlub, this one. Hi.
I guess you want me to stand on my toes and torture myself to death too. All right, I'm doing it. Higher.
A request for you to turn around one more time before leaving. Great, he's a carousel horse.
Yeah, I could get something stuck in my ass and go up and down all day.
But if you left, would that be a carousel of egress? Thank you.
Sounds fair to me.
My hoofies are sore. The frogs are dead. We're done? Yeah. We're not done yet. We are done? That little red light is still blinking. Let me wait now, Blair.
If you hit it hard enough, it will stop.
Eon, designed and worn, constructed by Ed Klein. We now begin the costumes which are competition, okay, from this point on.
Okay, come on.
Costume number 1. This is a group, Vicky Rabbit and the Blue Fox.
Blue box. Okay, music. Okay, next music.
Some girls they like candy, others they like slime. I'll still go the back of your hand, somewhere on my behind. Treat me like a bad girl, even when I'm being good to you. I don't want you to fight me, you can just thank me. Some guys like the sweet talk, others they like cheese. Tie my hands behind my back and ooh, I feel ecstasy. Don't stop me with kisses, I can't get that from my sister. Oh, I get too funky, you better not hang funky. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out your handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you like thank you. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out your handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you guys. Please don't call the doctor, there's nothing wrong with me. I just like things a little rough, and you better not disagree. I don't like a big funky now, I like some more meat and bossy. Let me sing to you right there, like hanky panky. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out your handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you like hanky panky. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out your handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you guys. What about, yeah. She wants you to treat me like a bad girl, even when I'm being good to you. I don't want you to fight me, you better not thank me. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out the handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you like thank you. Nothing like a good spanky. Don't take out your handkerchiefs, I don't wanna cry, I just wanna thank you guys.
Vicky Rabbit and the Blue Fox. Modeled by Rachel Tucker and John Colley. Built by Larry Adams and John Colley.
We need to perform at the cabaret night.
Could we clear the doorways, please? If there's still plenty of room inside if people want to come in. Just a moment here.
We have the back.
Where?
Costume number 2. Brownie the cat. Brownie the cat, worn by Vicky Shapiro, built and designed by Kay Shapiro. Costume number 3.
And 4.
Costume number 3, this is a pair. Pardon me here. Count Zero and Chernor.
It's slices, it's dices.
It makes Julian fries in seconds.
We're hearing about metal swords.
Count Zero and Chernor, designed and worn by Michael Underwood and Lynn Kurtz.
Back to security now.
Including, I should add, the sword work. Do remember, there is only one way to catch a sword. More than once. Costume number 4. Drachnor.
Coming through, sorry.
Back to back.
Drachnor, designed and built by Mike Bloom.
Good thinking, Mark.
Next costume, the dog. Yay!
What's your real name?
Oh, I know his real name. It's
Yes.
Who's that last gun?
Should go after real good do, mate.
Whoa! The dog, designed and built by Larry Allen. Costume number 6, Red the Panda.
This way, please. Thank you.
You can walk from the far corner up to the whole costume. Just close to the door, all I do is
Retro Panda, modeled by Costa, designed and built by Larry Adams. Costume number 7, Beth the White Guardian. Beth the White Guardian, initial design by Scudder Kidwell, modeled by Gene Kidwell, built by Ed Klein, Tishma Danielle, and Gene Kidwell. Costume number 8, Sage High the Weasel.
Pop goes the weasel.
Pop goes the whining and the weasel. It's either empty pocket needs a refill. Got a squad with a list of complainers. I should have started great. Rappers against phony entertainers, so we can make it known that we won't get swayed. It's 91, son, so something's gotta change. Get your paid pedal speakers and soda pop. Pop goes the weasel and draw drop. Why not take your top 10 pop hits? Think the music can make sense as rhymes fit. It's the fact that you can't be artistic. Intricate rap becoming so simplistic. I got a strong mind, it doesn't have to be spoon-fed. And I can read, it doesn't have to be read. So some stay illiterate and be more legally linked. You go the ways of the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, 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 but the weasel don't pop. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, but the weasel don't pop. Somebody's record, then you lose it, you lose it. You boosted the record, then you lose it, you lose it. Yo, I came from Cali and they hooped it, but now you're getting sued, kinda stupid. Boosted track, it slaps, you got no hats to reach the four corners of the map. But kids in Kansas, to those who speak Spanish, doing crazy damage so the whack gets banished. Can't manage the truth until you flyway. You ain't quick, so you switch off the exit from a highway. The rest, what the fuck? Have to take the second one. Ever heard of a chef who can't cook? But the minister plots and lay laws. Hey yo, be nice, whip the mic and go for yours. Goes for mine, I'm goes for mine. Find the problem, won't eat the green eggs and swine. Online like the search in a hoodie with the woody. Get a disc to take the same goodie. Why'd you run through the door from left open? Open off the scenes of the crime smoking. I got button them on up like a front seat. Throwing up like I'm throwing up a beef patty. Till I run the butt like the measles. No cure, cause pop goes the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, 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 but the weasel goes pop. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel. Pop goes the weasel, the weasel goes pop.
Say Hi the Weasel, modeled and danced by David Klinker, builder and designed by Rachel Tucker. What's the name again? Say Hi the Weasel. I will spell that. Sajar. I apologize. S-A-J-H-A-R. Sajar. My apologies. Costume number 9. Winks. Designed and worn by Conrad Wong. And that is our competition of costumes for today. Here's for all of them. I will now go over the names of the groups once again, for the sake of your notes. They are Vicky Rabbit and the Blue Fox, Brownie the Cat, Count Zero and Tiernor, that is spelled Tiernor, Drachnor, spelled Drachnor, The Dog, Red the Panda, Beth the White Guardian, Sajar the Weasel, and Lynx.
something fun to do. It's like indulging our hobby, finding an excuse to indulge our hobby at a convention, at one of the scientific conventions.
So that may have been on the Furry.
That's nice. The Funny Animal Liberation Front was done up before, as far as I know, there was an Animal Liberation Front. Worried now to be eventually released by the FBI, interrogated.
I remember that Reed did a comic, sort of making a comment on the fact that funny animals were not allowed to have normal, real lives. Mitchell Baker did a wonderful version of the same thing with Woody Woodpecker and Winnie. It's been a popular theme, kind of a protest in the fact that if anyone draws a cartoon character, it immediately means it's an emasculated thing that's designed, to be harmless to children. Something that we're still encountering. We're still encountering for a long time. It's sort of like our sorrow, and we're having some trouble here at the convention too, because some of the people involved with the hotel believe that if it is a cartoon character, then obviously it was designed to attract children, and therefore we're trying to do something reverse by attracting children to the stuff we're doing.
We've encountered that before. It's like, Reed and I weren't active participants in the underground in the 60s or 70s, but we were interested in that, artistic freedom sort of end. And Reed was the first to talk about it on paper and put it down, the idea of a level of discussion that we were doing this for ourselves as adults, rather than for kids. So,
would this be the place?
Yes, come on in, make us
Please come in.
You two sit here.
Cool, howdy, howdy, folks.
Good morning. You're probably wondering why I've called you all here today.
He done it! Who brought the dice?
We're talking about him.
Okay, well, you met him. Mercedes Lackey, Misty, there.
He just said he was just funning you.
And I'm
If you're
very...
Mercedes lacking, you can do the book that I have to finish in 8 days.
Which one is that?
I'm sorry, I'm making
10 days.
10 days or 250 pages. Knock yourself out.
Don't worry about it. Oh, and our special, ultra special surprise guest. We got Ellen Guan over here. Super nifty games writer.
Ms. Wing Commander.
Ms. Wing Commander. Oh, yeah. She is the one. Fear her.
The person who helped me turn the Kilrathi into something other than ConFURence.
Any similarities? Well, howdy. What can we do for you?
So these are our other guests. And
They always carry spares.
They might call our headliners, but we don't normally with ConFURence say pro guest of honor, fan guest of honor. We just have a bunch of guests of honor.
It's cheaper that way.
Well, we travel in herds.
This is Larry Dixon, who is a fantastic illustrator. If you've been to the art show in Sweden Park. And Steve Cooper up there.
I draw pictures, I think.
And he writes to Mrs. Blackie, who needs no introduction. who is, I think, probably the #1 fantasy author in the country today.
Well, you notice he said in the country, knowing that Catherine Kurtz and Anne McCaffrey both live outside the country.
And he did say today.
Yes. Tomorrow it could be different.
That's right.
Yesterday, who knows?
You got 14 hours.
And 250 pages.
So, how many people have heard of these people? Oh, that's good. That's
All
good.
right, nice.
Ow! I'm asking this because a couple of people, we did some calls for people when we saw our first letter and said, who are these people?
And you know, and we were among those.
I could say something rude at this point, but I won't.
I want a refund.
No, just kidding. What can we do for you? Are you all curious about things? Do you want us to pontificate at will?
I'm curious, which book is it that you have to finish 250 pages on in the next 10 days?
When's the Fury?
Oh. Okay.
But it's shaking back and I help. Yes,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were coming. Two comments. One is, I'm finally glad we got a complete map in the books, and they have about a Mars. I'm one of those people who like to be able to look at the map and figure out who is where they are. And it was a real problem for a while there.
You have to understand something. I hate maps.
That's where I come in.
I'm not a navigator. I hate maps.
When is Winds of Fury due out?
August.
August. Yeah, and it will be illustrated just as heavily as Winds of Change.
This is going to be another frightening year. We have June, the Piers Anthony collaboration will be out in hardcover.
Ah.
August, Winds of Fury will be out in hardcover. November, an entirely separate book that's sort of Tony Harmon with shamanic magic that works, called Sacred Ground will be out in hardcover. You're about to go poor.
In the meantime, there are liberal sprinkles of paperbacks in there, so not to worry. We'll set you up with poundage if you want poundage of books. No problem. We get your word
my actual goal is to enable people to insulate their walls.
That's right. Mercedes Lackey, R Factor 13.
Exactly.
And imagine the savings.
Was there supposed to be a Dan and Regards book coming out?
Eventually. They wanted me to do Sacred Ground first. So I've got 2 more Diane Tregards that are under contract, and when I finish Sacred Ground, then I start on those.
So they won't be out this year.
Not out this year, no.
Are you going to be doing a sequel to The Lark and the Wren anytime soon?
That's what I start on as soon as I finish Winds of Fury.
Actually, I've got some news along those lines.
Yes. Did you guys all see Dinotopia? The book?
Yes.
Do you all like Dinotopia? Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to see a Dinotopia type book on the world of the Lark and the Wren?
Yes.
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact. I'd be darn happy to see it. I gotta produce the damn thing.
All I gotta do is 20,000 words of prose.
Really, I
You
just
gotta
like to
do
see
the
it
hard
done.
work.
We got the second Bardic Voices book coming out.
In hardcover.
That's the chorus. In hardcover. Followed by a trade paperback called Overflight, which will have about 150 illustrations. And it will be told from the viewpoint of an avian character, who is introduced in the second Bardic Voices book, features as the lead character in Overflight, and as a co-lead character in the third Bardic Voices book. And the piece of artwork that's over there in the art show called The Fear is an example of what you're going to be seeing in the book. The full body avian that's standing in there. Yeah. So I anticipate lots and lots of caffeine in my immediate future.
Hot or cold?
Yes.
It's going to be a very interesting book because what you haven't really gotten a picture of in Lark and the Wren is the fact that this thing is a patchwork of little slices of all kinds of worlds that sort of got jumbled together. That cataclysm that was sort of vaguely referred to, which is why the borders are so strange. Oh, there are some people that have real high tech and they have space flight and they can find spare parts. Right next to people who are sort of Planet Cave Bear. So.
It's and spare parts is actually the biggest commodity on the planet. Gold is just there as a default. Just try to find a spindle. Let's see. There was basically a gate accident between a number of worlds of similar atmospheres, and they sort of patchworked out onto this world, and now you've got very interesting
interactions between the cultures without the inconvenient space flight. So it's Star Trek in a Chevy Blazer. But anyway.
You ever show called Organs?
No, I never have, but I've seen my counselor about it.
Just describe the plot outline.
Really?
Yes.
Cool! Okay, well now we know it'll fly.
Except theirs they did intentionally.
Oh, that was not intentional.
Wasn't they blew up a gate? A terrorist bomb blew
Well,
up a
they
gate.
blew up the gate, but the gate, they had dimensional weapons that would actually blow you in a dimension.
Oh,
This had been
okay.
done
You can go to
like
the
an
bathroom
by
now.
several cultures.
It's not going to interrupt. By this one world, are you from, is this the same world that has Valdemar? Does it also include the
No.
Luckerman or a different world?
This
All
is
right.
different entirely.
We carry spares too.
Yet another series we can start collecting.
Sure! What's the worst that can happen? Actually, I wanted to comment on you about the maps.
Yeah.
Boy, are there going to be maps in this thing.
Eventually, eventually. Now, this is, whenever I say eventually, that means in my copious spare time. You know, when I'm not being a brain surgeon and test pilot. We're working on a full continent Zelgar Valdemar map. Big sucker. And to scale even, so.
1-to-1.
That's right. That'll be a bitch to fold.
Now, in the case of the next Bardic Voices book, yes, you're going to find out more about the ghost.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
In the case of the next Valdemar book, you get to see the Empire of the East in action.
Which has been alluded to in the past. But,
Is that good news or bad news?
you'll get it in your face.
It's bad news.
Oh.
Well, let's put it this way. This is the Winds trilogy.
Yeah.
The trilogy that follows this, which, yes, is under contract, so it will be written.
Hey, I want them.
It's where they face off with the Empire of the East, and it's called the Storms trilogy. Now, what does that tell you?
Bad weather!
Just like
yeah.
The funny part about that was that we couldn't think of a third
Oh, yeah.
title, so the contracts are written out to Storm Warning, Storm Rising, and Storm Windows.
That'd be Storm Windows 3.0, so it'll crash every time.
Thing you keep saying in hardback, I like getting your books in hardbacks because my paperbacks fall apart. To that end, I would love to see Oathbreakers and Oathbound and the miscellaneous ones that have shown up in the various, mostly Swords and Sorceresses, Swordswomen and Sorceresses books collected into hardbacks. Is
Right,
that
publisher.
Can I interject here?
I think
Right,
we
Contact
should.
Science Fiction Book Club.
Yeah.
I spoke with them just a few weeks
That's
ago,
how I'm
and
getting-
if you write to them, it will help.
Okay, then I'll write.
Elsa Asher, Science Fiction Book Club.
And not only will you get the book you want, you'll help us pay our mortgage.
Can you give me that name again? I'm a member of
Ellen
the book.
Asher.
Ellen?
Ellen.
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 E-L-L.
Ellen, not as in Alan Adale, but as in Ellen Guan.
Asher, A-S-C-H-E-R?
A-S-H-E-R.
A-M-O-U-S-E.
Send fudge.
Good idea.
If you call Doubleday in New York,
I'm a member of the book club,
Okay, then
so
send
I...
it directly to us. Yeah.
There it is.
As an aside, have you ever thought about doing a bibliography book? An over guide of all your series and everything? Like the Mercedes Lackey print?
Oh, like
Well,
a
there's
concordance?
some concordances being done by Firebird. And Juanita Colson's writing them up. And since she's a much better researcher than I am, she's very
I've
good
heard
at
of
that
the
kind of
index.
thing.
Well, Mr. carries all this stuff in her noggin. Right. You know, there are no like physical notes of the world of Valdemar. It's all up here. Well, actually,
I'm making it up
it's
as I
all
go
up
along.
here.
In that, I'm following in the tradition of my previous job, which was the computer program where everyone knows you don't write documentation.
Ed, jump on in here. We'll continue to babble senselessly for hours.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you think that, for example, the Arrows of the Queen series would have been as popular without companions, without any sort of animal life in it?
Oh, I see. We're bringing this around to the theme of the convention.
It had to be done.
How amazing!
Yes,
How
you're
good. Beats the hell out of me.
Don't do that.
I don't think it would have been as popular without Jody Lee's covers, for one.
The White Horse is actually on the Oath books that you're talking about there. We found a direct correlation between the sales of the books and the appearance of a white horse on the cover.
No White Horse, books don't sell half as well.
Really?
The important thing now, I noticed, some of the more recent Valdemar things,
Speak up, please.
in the more recent Valdemar books, we have a lot more.
Go ahead, ask the question, I'll translate. In the more recent Valdemar books, we have a lot more.
A lot more characters which are animal-based.
Characters
A lot
which
more
are,
characters which are animal-based.
Stereo. Because of your influence, or because you thought it would be more popular?
Was this because of your influence?
Or because we thought this would be more popular.
Or because we're just plain silly? The answer is yes.
Once again, I'm just making this shit up as I go along.
Crash commercial.
Well, there is a certain amount of commercialism involved. After all, it's our profession. As we said, it's what we pay our mortgage with. So we have to pay very close attention to what the market will bear, what people are interested in, what will get them to buy the books naturally. But
And what looks pretty on a cover.
well, let's yeah, like a white horse. We've seen a lot more white horses on covers lately.
Although I did a really awful thing to Jody Lee on the second Arrows book, and I didn't realize it until way after the fact. I had set this thing mostly in the dead of winter for someone wearing white and riding a white horse. God, was that rude to do to one.
Conversating like the White Album.
The book looks like White Album. Looks like that.
This disembodied nose in a house.
Sort of like the reverse of a tune when they get in
Really?
a dark room.
Feeling we're not in Haven anymore. Yes, fuzzy person.
Do you know if any of your books will be coming out through the Science Fiction Book Club?
Oh boy, will they.
Oh my God.
As a
The
matter of
Harold Mage series came out a while ago. The Arrows of the Queen, they just came out as the latest release.
Let me put it this way. Whether they come out relatively soon after they hit the stores.
yes.
Thank you. I'll wait for them then, 'cause I'm not going to.
It's, what, about a year?
6 months to a
About
year.
six,
to a
about
year?
6 months after this, after they hit the stores in hardback, they'll hit the Science Fiction Book Club in hardback.
Thank you.
And about 2 months, sometimes after they hit the stores in paper, they'll hit the Science Fiction Book Club in hard.
Yeah,
Bedlam Birds was like that, and
the cover.
oh God, Fred Gwynn is the elf.
Oh, God.
No,
It's a
Misty.
spooky cover. There, she's got a copy.
He's a vice president of Electronic Arts, I swear to God.
I would reveal you.
Great story,
What can you do?
Burn the cover, yeah.
On the next two Bardic Voices, are those characters that know some of the names like Nightingale and Kick one another, are they interacting with the characters from the first book? Or is it
No, the
same
way I'm
time period?
working this is that they may be, the characters from the previous books may be alluded to, but they're not really going to be on stage.
So each one can stand alone. You can read them in pretty much any order.
Yeah.
Slight shift from the Serrated Edge series. Are we going to see more of Joe Jr.? I'm curious about what happens to the poor fellow.
Yeah. I don't have a smile on his face. It says yeah. Yeah. In fact,
The next serrated edge.
is called Chrome Circle. And Chrome
It's
Circle.
another one of ours.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that. Tandem goes home and
To
visits his
Oklahoma.
parents. Yeah.
The thing is that most fantasy and science fiction characters really don't seem to have much in the way of families. You know, they're always
A lot of
orphans, they lost their parents in a tragic accident when they turned 18, or maybe possibly they 12, or they murdered their parents.
They got chosen.
Oh, that happened. With annoying regularity.
We decided it would be lots of fun to give Tandem a family that's
Real Oklahoma
just
family.
just as quirky as he is.
Yeah.
Now, you remember Tandem had all those boxes of boxes of allergy pills in the back and the Kleenexes and stuff like that. This should tell you why he left Oklahoma.
That's right. He goes through the whole book with a perpetual sniffle. Oh. But he goes back to Oklahoma to see his family. Well, his father has gone into raising quarter horses while he was gone. First thing that happens whenever he gets home is his...
Hi, son. Oh, you're home. You can help me. Come help me with the stallion.
Servicing the stallion here.
Servicing the stallion. Yes.
You mean I'm gonna... Oh, Dad, that's gross! I drove 2,000 miles to give a horse a hand job? It just doesn't do nature well. Automobiles, fine,
But,
you know.
where does Joe Jr.
Joe Jr. comes into it because that's the main reason that he heads to Oklahoma, is to pick up Joe and take him over to Fairgrove. Fairgrove? I remember Fairgrove.
And
Well,
somewhere
it's a
in
very
there,
nifty battle scene.
and somewhere in there, the band Tempest is going to have a breakdown.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Tempest
They're
tour
going to be
bus.
stranded in Ada, Oklahoma.
Population 49.
No, we should strand them in Rose.
Oh, Rose, my God. Rose has the Rose store. It's about the size of this room, and that's the entire town. There's nothing else. It's a gas station, post office, grocery store, auto repair, you name it. There's one place.
Population 25.
Yep.
The roomies outnumber them.
Is this from first-hand experience?
Oh, yeah.
First-hand experience. I'm not getting stranded in Rose. We have a friend who lives near Rose.
If you wanted to talk stranded, I got this 57 Chevy, and I could put together a nice travel book of snapshots of places it's broken down. Hardcover.
Like maps. I noticed in your first Bedlam's Bard book that you showed a great familiarity with the original Ren Fair up in...
Turtle!
I suppose I ought to introduce myself as the basis for more people.
I know you.
The basis for that.
Television.
Here I'm setting up in the VIP room.
Excellent.
Nice to meet you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yes.
Funny, you're taller in real life. Oh, I'm sitting down, of course.
And also I'm sitting in a chair on TV too.
That's true.
So in about 10 minutes, do you want to come up to the Santa Clara room and we'll just whip off a...
We can do that. We're just going to whip it right out.
And then... I'll talk to you, because we're going to do a feature on you too, so we can talk about that. I've run your T-shirts here, and I wanted to just put them somewhere.
Oh.
So just kind of like a
Those were
little...
for you.
I know, but I wanted to make sure they got into the piece, so I brought them just
And I
because you were
got
getting close.
I'm so sorry to talk business, but I've got about a dozen pieces over in the art show if you wanted to do a shot. I've already...
Yeah, I know, I talked to John, great. That'll work.
Okay.
But do you have some sort of an autograph area? For this fun?
Sure, welcome.
Leave it with us?
Yeah. Actually, why don't I just put it over here?
That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Santa Clara room?
We can do that.
Santa Clara.
Okay.
Santa Clara room.
You were telling us about
That was Susan Hyman from the Sci-Fi Channel, Sci-Fi Buzz.
We don't get it around
We don't get it here yet.
Well, you want, you just don't get it. Yeah.
Actually, the way that you get around the fact that your cable company will not carry it is you write directly to USA Network.
Oh. And then they put the
And
pressure
you
on.
tell them, well, there's massive support for getting the Sci-Fi Channel, but this butt-headed cable company won't.
And we recommend you use exactly that sentence.
And if you can cite numbers, that's even better.
How about you send them a stack of letters?
Hey, that
And if
works.
you can cite a person at the company who refuses to carry it, because then USA Networks, who's backing the Sci-Fi Channel, that's where they got the money to start up.
The holy sword of fandom descends.
It's worked before.
They know who to ream.
Then has, rather than the holy sword of fandom, which cable companies kind of go, we have the massive,
The massive foam of USA.
the massive, I was going to use an organ slightly more personal and lower. The massive showing, the massive schwadstück of USA Network.
Pushing sound through the air.
As they swing it, yeah.
Because, boy, howdy do they have corporate clout.
Make sure you have the name of the person at your local cable company who is
Who's being
responsible
such a
for
idiot.
choosing the programming so they'll know who to hit.
Can't use the janitor.
They discriminately add blood everywhere. It's like,
Personal letter.
See, given the option of no pressure, they would far rather put on something like, oh, another home shopping channel. Or even worse, a sports channel.
Cooking. It's curling from Canada.
Yeah.
Sumo curling.
Mongolian yak wrestling.
Which isn't so bad.
Did you see the
Depends on
camel
the-
wrestling?
I still have the negative.
Yo.
Okay, I am losing my vision, so it's getting very, very hard to read print. And I'm obviously bookworm. I've gone through almost all of your stuff. In the near future, are you going to be putting it onto audio cassettes?
Well, I think Bain has already signed a deal to have Dove do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
one
and there's
thing-
also there's the Palo Alto Project for the Blind
Yes.
and other organizations you should get in touch with where you can. I have a friend who's blind, and she just says, "Can somebody please, read these books onto tape for me?" And they have volunteers to do it. So you should definitely make your contacts with those people as well.
That's one
Because
thing.
that's donated.
That's one thing that we wrote specifically into our contract, our boilerplate contract, is that we charge no licensing fee
For books for the blind.
Thank you.
Ever. Period.
Anybody else?
What's next? We got a
$5.
Each.
Ladies, gentlemen, others, please give a warm welcome to our very special guest to send you home, the lovely Bambioid dancer, Hilda!
Hilda Mike. Say something.
Oh, there wasn't one. Yeah, first of all, your power.
Thank you.
Touch DVD.
Here I stand, the goddess of set men on fire. I have this power. Morning, noon, and night, it's swing and dancing, some quick romancing, and then a shower. So Johnnies constantly surround me. They always hound me with one request. Who can satisfy their lustful habits? I'm not a rabbit. I need some rest. I'm tired, sick and tired of love. I've had my fill of love from below and above. Tired of being admired. Tired of love uninspired. Let's face it, I'm tired. I've been with thousands of men again and again. They promise the moon. They're always coming and going and going and coming, and always too soon. Tired of playing the game. Ain't it a crying shame? I'm so tired. God damn it, I'm exhausted. Boy, what's your name?
Taxman.
Taxman. Tell me, Taxman, are you in show business?
No.
Well, then why don't you get your friggin' feet up? Hello, handsome. Is that a 10-gallon hat, or are you just enjoying the show? Tired of playing the game. I'm so tired. Everything below the waist is kaput.
Hilda, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much. Thank you for this year. Thank you for everything up to this year, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you next year. And good evening.
Right there.
How you doing? Susan Hyman is here, one of our Sci-Fi Buzz producers, fresh back from ConFURence 4. Now, why the fur there? What's that fur?
That's for Furry Fandom.
Mm-hmm.
It was an anthropomorphic animation festival.
What the heck is that?
Oh, I thought you'd ask that. That is when you ascribe human traits and characteristics to an animal.
Oh.
Kind of like.
Well, like this picture here. Oh, is that Dan Rather? Oh, that's you!
Very good, Mike.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
An extinct animal right there. Not really. Now, you're talking about ascribing personal traits to like a Bugs Bunny or Roger Rabbit or something like that.
Well, it starts there, but just take a look at this piece because it goes way beyond.
Fun, fur, and hundreds of fans were out in force at this year's 4th annual ConFURence in Costa Mesa, California. Since its inception, the convention has evolved into a high-energy celebration of anthropomorphic art, animation, and attitude.
ConFURence was started in late 1988 after several years when we had been putting on parties at other conventions for people with an interest in anthropomorphic characters, which is basically everything from Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and in between.
Faithful furrydom fans offer various explanations for their devotion to the art form.
The fun and profit of anthropomorphics, yes.
But most sentiments are rooted in the basic ability to communicate easier through cuddly critters than human figures.
With the anthropomorphics, it's easy to get outside matters of race or sex or whatever because they're not, on the one hand, they're not people, but on the other hand, you can do anything with them that you could do with people.
Among the artists on hand at ConFURence to display their work was illustrator Steve Galacci. He's found a wider audience for his socially conscious stories by using anthropomorphics in his underground comic book, Albedo.
Having these cute little characters doing very serious, straight science fiction stories, serious action, in-depth social and political issues being explored and all that. But they're cute, funny animals, and well handled. You can approach an audience that you might want to hit that would otherwise reject message out of hand.
Anthropomorphics also offer a refreshing option for artists like Christina Hansen, who are intent on expanding their creative horizons.
I've been working a lot with the human figure for so long. I've been kind of going out my way to find challenges, and that's a lot of what the anthropomorphics do for me, is they give me a challenge and something different and something new to work with.
Artists and fans alike appreciate the anthropomorphic's ability to exude a comforting illusion, transforming even the most ferocious of creatures into something harmless and huggable.
Anthropomorphics are fun. They give you the ability to do exotics that are still familiar somehow, so that it's not something so extreme that you might scare somebody with it.
Yes, they are cuddly and fun, but according to ConFURence co-director Rod O'Reilly, the ultimate advantage of funny animals lies in their ability to push our imagination to the limits.
Anthropomorphics, in many ways, kind of reflect sort of a human desire to be able to push the boundaries, both of what we're allowed to do and what we're capable of doing, a lot like superheroes do. But we don't actually live with superheroes, we do actually live with animals, such that you can be reminded of your nice household cat who sits on your lap and you stroke it, but you can also imagine yourself in the role of a lion who can race at 90 miles an hour across the desert plains.
Looks like the power of imagination is alive and well in the fantastic world of furry fandom. Just a few short years ago, Mercedes Lackey was a bored computer programmer who wrote as a hobby to keep life interesting. Today, she's one of the top female fantasy authors, and there's no turning back.
Many people go through their lives working at jobs that they absolutely despise. And I actually get up going, oh boy, I get to write today.
Science fiction and fantasy have long been male-dominated professions, but it seems the tides are beginning to turn.
It has been, in the last 15 years, much easier for a woman to be accepted. And now, Jim Bain, who's another one of my publishers, is convinced that the new wave, so to speak, is going to be female writers rather than male.
Lackey believes there are qualities women can bring to stories that male authors simply cannot.
I think what they bring is a gift for characterization. Science fiction, just like any other genre, is always evolving. And women's stories in general tend to be character-centered rather than idea-centered, and I think that's what they bring to it.
Growing up, Lackey devoured books by noted female genre authors like Anne McCaffrey and Andre Norton. Having her name grace the same book covers as her idols has proven to be the ultimate fulfillment.
It's a dream come true. I mean, everyone who reads and has any ambition to write always dreams that, oh gosh, maybe someday I could do something in their playground. And to be able to do something in their playground or to create a mutual playground is just a dream come true. It's exactly like, for instance, anybody who loves rock and roll to have been invited up on the stage to play guitar with The Who.
Lately, Mercedes, who's known as Misty to friends, has been passing on hard-earned writing tips to up-and-comers like Ellen Guan. Bedlam's Bard, an urban fantasy series, has been the fruitful result of their collaboration.
I really generally to a social life.
What we do with the modern fantasies is we take reality, we take Los Angeles, and then we say, let's make it a little bit more. Let's take and, add, we have a corporation, let's make the corporation president use magic. We have, a setting in the Hollywood Hills, let's put dragons there, let's take a shopping mall and put elves in it. And it's really fun because you can just take what already exists and just add to it.
A self-proclaimed workaholic, Lackey released almost a book per month last year. And while she makes a point of working on more than one project at a time, there are definite exceptions to the rule.
You do get tired of working on one book for a long stretch, except when I'm close to the end of a book. In that case, it's a lot like you're getting to the last part of the downhill race. And it's got its own momentum, and you don't stop work on that book. You just keep going on it until it's finished.
With an impressive volume of work behind her, it's not surprising Mercedes Lackey has found an element of fame in the fantasy world. Though the attention is a bit daunting, she's relishing every minute of it.
When my contact lenses were being made, one of the people at the contact lens facility that my optometrist called said, "Wait a minute, are these lenses for the Mercedes Lackey?" "Well, yes, I think there's only one." "You mean the writer?" "Oh, wow, I'll give them to you right away." So I haven't yet gotten recognized in a grocery store, but Stephen King does.
Dixon, here he is right here. His sketches fill the pages of Mercedes Lackey's novels, Winds of Change and Winds of Fate. Mercedes likes Larry's work. In fact, she's a big fan. In fact, she's a big fan of Larry's. So much so, they got married.
We caught up with fantasy artist Larry Dixon at a recent con. Seems Larry is hard at work on sketches for Overflight, his latest collaboration with best-selling fantasy author / wife, Mercedes Lackey.
25 illustrations that all lock together into a single poster image with a radial design like a stained glass window in the background.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
Piece of cake, just takes a little bit extra planning.
Although he values his wife's input on projects, Dixon's style is decisively his own.
As far as the work goes, there's a softness of touch in a lot of it, and an accent on curves, curvilinear things. It's very textural.
Dixon is not adverse to doing the cover art on a book, but he finds immense satisfaction in black and white interior illustrations. And that's a good thing, since he is colorblind.
One of the things about doing a cover is that you have to keep it to one image. Even if you're doing a movie poster style cover, whenever you're doing book illustration, you can do as many as 25, say, different parts of the story and give them each equal time. So that's something I really enjoy a lot.
A few years ago, Dixon and his wife began taking in and caring for injured birds of prey. Given his love of animals, it was inevitable the little house guests would eventually find their way into his work.
I use a lot of animal influences in the things that I do, and part of the wonder of being in science fiction and fantasy art is that you get to create these fabulous alien races, but those races have to come from somewhere, and it's best to just follow the example of what's already around.
That sense of familiarity is something that has brought a highly receptive audience to Dixon's art.
A lot of people tell me that the eyes in the different creatures that I do are so expressive and everything. Well, that's because I know that I'm showing this to a human audience. Therefore, if I portray human emotions, the way they're shown on human faces, in an animal face, then it conveys more to the viewer. It's easier for them to understand. It's sort of translating.
After years as a starving artist, Larry Dixon has successfully beaten the odds and is now enviably able to blend work and pleasure.
It's always been fun, but I've found that, my goodness, you can have even more fun when you're making a living at it. See, that way you can buy lots and lots of toys. Toys are good.